Hey Amanda, how you doing? I've got your booklet up, and I see that you had a little bit of an exciting week or an unusual week, and I hope everyone is okay. And I don't think those of us who live in areas like um, Colorado or some areas in the north, I don't think we really realize how devastating that type of weather can be to the folks that live in that part of the country. So it's really, really disruptive. But anyway, so I totally get it. I totally get it. And of course, I'm not going to hold you responsible for any late penalties because for doing what you do. Okay, so let's take a look at the work now. This is a placed image, and it's very clearly so because look how pixelated it is. It's you can't use that there. You're going to have to find another placement of that particular graphic. But I hope you can see. I don't know if you can see on my screen. It's very, very pixelated. It could be PDF rendering, but I doubt it. It kind of looks like that was a placed low res image that was taken from the screen somewhere. Excuse me. So, anyways, let's jump into the spreads. Okay, I would like to see page numbers. I just think it's just an added little typographic thing that you can do to your pages just to give it that little extra touch. Okay, a couple of things I think that there's a lot of his work is very weighty, weighty, weighty. So I don't think you need these big blocks. I mean, you're going to have plenty of weight on your page anyways. So between you putting these big giant blocks there, and all they're doing really is they're sucking all the energy out of the page whoosh, like a black hole. And nothing on this page has a chance to really compete with this because it's so big and so black. Likewise here and up here. The only thing on this page that can compete with these is this. So one thing you want to be really careful of in black and white is the bulk, the visual weight of your elements. Okay. I hope you understand that what my comment about that your type doesn't stand a chance when it's up against visual weight like this. So how do we even the playing field, so to speak? We take away the visual weight. Just use the headline. Which brings me to another point. Okay, I don't think this is good type for you to use to represent what would, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but here's how I'm taking this. I'm taking this like this. Okay, this designer has elected to use this kind of handwritten looking font to so that the appearance is that, or the general concept here behind this typographic composition is that the mind thinks that the designer wrote this. And that's cool, I get it. But I don't think this is the right typeface for a couple of reasons. Okay, this is almost, while it's not neat and clean and pristine, it has got a very rhythmic sense to it. It's almost graceful in an elementary way. Okay, now when we take a look, I'm going to show you some images, and you tell me if you see graceful anywhere in the type. And the answer is no, because that is not his style. I highly doubt the person who is doing this has handwriting that looks like this. Do you see what I'm saying? Which leaves you with a decision. Well, what do? Do I use something that I think would be his handwriting to do my pull quotes? No, or my call outs. And no, I don't think so. I don't think that is the solution. I think the solution is changing your type. But not to that, you just use traditional type. So we can kind of lose this idea that, okay, the illusion that the designer wrote those. Okay, does that make sense? Another thing is that these do not stylistically fit at all with this typeface. The juxtaposition is almost uncomfortable. Okay, and these quotes, since these aren't actually, I mean, they're quotes, but since you don't have to use a quotation mark on these if you don't want. And I would format these a little bit differently, I think. And I would like to talk a little bit about the grid next, okay? You have some typographic issues. And a lot of what I'm saying, keep in mind, has to do with all of your pages, not just one page in particular. So in other words, the visual weight I'm talking about is, yes, here it is. It's visible on this page as well, okay? Okay, let's go back to the type and take a look at what's going on. This is an introductory page, which means your type has got to start somewhere near your headline. That's only natural. The eye does not want to go like this. Headline, okay, and then bum, 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 bum. Okay, now I can start the article. No, the eye wants to go a headline, boom, right into the article. That's why you always see headline and article starting out on the left-hand side of the page, typically upper left-hand corner. So you need to get into the story on your first spread, absolutely. Keep in mind that this is a typographic project, okay? And I've mentioned this to other students, all right? Is this showing good typography? Is this what an employer wants to see in your portfolio? And I think the answer is no. This is a very simple set typography. No offense, please, please, no offense. But all you've taken here is center type and put a quote around it, all right? I would rather you show what you've learned. And this is the comment I've used for other students is that, okay, you'll be sitting in front of a portfolio reviewer and they're going to be looking at this going, okay, what class was this? And you're going to say, well, it was for typography. And they're going to go, okay, where's the type? Okay, and likewise over here, where's the type? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's incumbent, I think, on the designer of a project like this to really, really use typography expeditiously and in a way that illustrates your skills. Let's talk about type in particular. You've got some justified type here. You've got your, you don't have your hyphens turned off. They're not bad, but you've got commas and hyphens in your right margin, which are not doing much for that right margin. You've got a space between paragraphs here, but in your other demarcations of new paragraph, you don't have that. There's no space there, okay? Here's the end of a paragraph here, no space for the new paragraph. Here's the end of a paragraph, again, there's a space. So there's some inconsistencies through there. Not a big fan at all of using placeholder text, Greeking, lorem ipsum, whatever you want to call it, because I just don't think that it ever looks right. I mean, I can tell lorem ipsum from across a room. The letters just don't sit next to each other correctly. And I think that it even looks funnier than even a Spanish or a different language. It's weird. All right, so anyways, back to this. Okay, so you've got your first real spread is this. And again, we've got the visual weight all just sucking all of the hierarchy out of the page and leaving us with the text. Now the text has a couple of issues. Command R, you are at, oh, good page size. Very interesting. Very interesting. Wait, 8.5 by 11? Oh, okay. You're just at 11 by 8.5. Okay, that's pretty interesting page size. I think it's better than, yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, let's look at your margins. Look how close you are on this side. Look how far you are on this side, uneven margins. Baseline grid, jump down there, drop a guide. We can see your baselines are not in alignment. Look how thin this, if you got a 2-column grid, it's got to be consistent throughout the entire document. So look how thin, narrow that type column is, as opposed to how wide these are. So there's an inconsistent. This one's even narrower than this one. Okay, this pull quote is set really strangely because basically it's just creating this big void in the text. And look what it does over here to this weirdness here. Okay, so it's causing really uncomfortable weirdness around that. So I would say if you're going to pull a quote that big, go ahead and just use that break for the quote and continue the type down here, instead of trying to fit those few letters in there, okay? This page, again, broken grid. Note, here's your 2-column grid up here. Just grab a guide and just go over to the middle of the gutter somewhere. Now I'm gonna meet that guide up here at the bottom of this page so we can see the guide on the next page. Why is it not letting me do that? That is so strange. It's just not letting me draw guides. My Adobe won't. It's weird. Anyways, so you can see the guide would be right here, okay? And as you can see, this is a broken grid. It's neither a 1 nor a 2-column grid. This set on a diagonal like this, I think it's really, really difficult to read. It's not, I don't think that's particularly working. I think it's a great idea to use a sidebar. I'm just not sure if that that vertical text is the answer there. I think you're too heavy on image again through a lot of these pages. You're really heavy with image. Again, here's your headline at the bottom of the page where your story starts up here. So there's that phenomenon again. Okay, and then here, there's no reason to put a white box. Just why don't you, I'm thinking just if you have type to lay on the back cover, just lay it on there in white instead of trying to put a box around it. Okay, so those are just a couple of the things I'm seeing. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to get with me. I think I can clarify things, but I don't want to just jump right into critique. I want to say you're doing wonderful stuff. I really think you are. I think it's very smart to keep this in black and white. You've got some interesting things going, interesting page size, interesting cover. This is not by any stretch of the imagination a run-of-the-mill presentation. I mean, you've got a lot of thought behind this, and I truly appreciate that. Okay, so, oh God, I'm sorry. Oh geez, I'm over 11 minutes. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know where this went, but I'm so sorry. Anyways, if you have any questions, please just give me a holler. Okay, thanks.